Hello and welcome to Anglo Siam Legal. I'm John, the Client Affairs Manager of the firm. I'm a British and international lawyer backed up for the full in-house team of lawyers and accountants. I'm here today to talk about a very important decision by the Supreme Court over land leases in Thailand. This case originates from Phuket, and I'm going to be reading from the article from the Phuket News, as they've written this very, very well. The Thai Supreme Court's recent decision over the automatic renewal of a 30-year lease of a property in Phuket is poised to significantly impact the real estate market in Thailand. The recent decision, case number 4655 of this year, overturns decades of previous legal holdings by the Supreme Court and the lower courts, which will invalidate the common practice of pre-agreed long-term lease renewals, effectively rendering them null and void. This decision has important implications for developers, investors, and particularly for buyers who have organised their property holdings around leasehold renewals. The Court's firm stance asserts that contractual promises for a lease renewal, when made at the beginning of a lease, are unenforceable, now in violation of the Civil and Commercial Code, and are, as a matter of law, null and void. The background to this case is quite simple. The case arose in Phuket, where the Civil Court of Phuket initially ruled in favour of the lessee, upholding the lease renewal clause as an enforceable promise from the original lessor to the lessee. That decision was consistent with past rulings of the courts and the Thai Supreme Court, and with previous consensus and legal opinion that acknowledged renewal clauses in long-term lease agreements as enforceable personal obligations. However, a three-judge panel of the Court of Appeal, including Phuket, overruled the Tri-Court by declaring the renewal void. This subsequently went to the Thai Supreme Court, which has upheld the appellate ruling, making a significant departure from previous interpretations. This ruling fundamentally alters the landscape for long-term lease renewals. Quite simple, the Supreme Court has stated that any lease agreement providing for renewals beyond 30 years is in violation of Section 540 of the Thai Civil and Commercial Code. They also state that the personal obligations are void from the outset, so that where parties agree to renewal in their initial lease, the lessee has no legal recourse to enforce it when the initial lease term expires. Cut a long story short, if you are entering into a lease agreement and you have had or are considering a pre-arranged 30-year lease with an automatic renewal for a 30-year lease, this case now potentially renders this null and void. Although Thailand doesn't have a precedent system, as it's a civil law country, the ruling by the Supreme Court is likely to be upheld by the lower courts. Therefore, from this day forward, we can believe that the court system in Thailand will register 30-year leases with the extensions at the beginning null and void. Now, there is legal ways to do 30-year leases with a renewal. This can be incorporated into new lease agreements, and our team here at Anglo Siam Legal, the Thai lawyers, barristers and commercial team are looking for the ways to uphold the law whilst protect the rights and interests of our clients. This ruling changed the landscape because if you're looking to buy a property, let's say in Phuket, you're 30 years old, you want it realistically for the rest of your life. Traditionally, you would have got 30 plus 30 plus an additional 30 years. Now you can only get 30. So for all those people who have already paid for their extension, what happens to the payment that you've paid in advance? Does the lessee give it back? Do you lose out? I can see a myriad of cases, complicated, going up and down the country nationwide with respect to this in the coming years. So for now, if you're looking to buy and you're looking at leasing a property, just remember that you can only rent now for 30 years. There is no automatic right to a further 30 years. If you want independent, expert legal advice when buying, leasing properties, please contact us here at Anglo Siam Legal. Thank you.